Okay, you're looking at an equation of a circle. So when we have a circle that passes through the center of the circle is 0, 0. This is the equation of that circle. The equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, and the center will always be at 0, 0 for this equation, okay? So, some things that you need to note are every single point on the circumference of a circle, I want you to think about this as I'm reading it, is the same distance from the center of the circle, which is at 0, 0. Does that make sense? Draw a circle right now. So if I have a circle, okay, every point on the circumference, so the perimeter of the circle, is the same distance from the center, right? Because what does the distance from the center represent? What is that called? Radius. Okay, so that makes sense. So once you know one point on a circle, you can determine the other points using symmetry. Okay, and think about this for a second. If I tell you one point on the circle is at, let's use this as an example, 8, negative 6. So I'm going to plot that. 8, negative 6 would be here. If every single point is the same distance from the circumference, where would another point on the circle be? Negative 8, negative 6. Where's another point? 8, positive 6, and negative 8, 6. Okay? Right? If I were to draw a circle around, then every single point on the circumference, so this point is on the circumference of the circle. Yeah, this point's on the circumference of the circle, which means you know at least 3 other points on the circumference of the circle. So we have 8, negative 6, 8, positive 6, negative 8, positive 6, negative 8, negative 6. If you know a coordinate, all of these coordinates can be labeled as x, y, right? If we know a coordinate and you know what the equation of the circle is, do you think you can figure out where the radius would be on the circle? Right? Using this formula, x squared plus y squared, x and y are coordinates. Pick any of these coordinates, plug it in, and find the radius. Okay, so let's do that right now. So the radius is located 10 units away from the center. Where could I plot that? Technically, the distance from here to here is 10 units, right? Which means the distance from the center, right? Every point on the circumference of the circle is the same distance from the center. All of these are 10 units away. So would you agree that from the center, this is a point on the circle, 10, 0 is a point? Where's another point? 0, 10, good. 0, negative 10 would be down here. And how would I write this point? Negative 10, 0. And I'm going to sketch this. Here is our circle. It passes through those pink points that we were given. Hey, that's a pretty good circle. And the center is at 0, 0. The equation of the circle I just drew would be written as x squared plus y squared equals 100. That's the equation of the circle. Okay, we're going to use the original coordinate. 8, negative 6 was one of the coordinates on the circle. I told you this point is on the circle, on the circumference of the circle. So plug in 8 for x, plus, make sure you put brackets. Negative 6 squared is everything. It's all of negative 6 to the power of 2 is equal to r squared. Okay, what's 8 squared? What's negative 6 times negative 6? Positive 36 equals r squared. What's 64 plus 36? If 100 equals r squared, how would I find r? So r equals? Okay, when you have a square root, r can either be equal to positive 10 or negative 10, right? Positive 10 times positive 10 equals 100, or negative 10 times negative 10 equals 100, right? Okay, so once you figure out the radius, so the radius is equal to 10 units, or radius squared is equal to 100, right? Radius squared equals 100. If the question asks you to write the equation of the circle, all you need to do is replace r squared. So the equation of this circle would be, if you're asked to write the equation of a circle with center 0, 0, because that's all we're learning in grade 10, if the radius is equal to 3. So all you need to do is figure out, well, if radius is equal to 3, what's radius squared equal to? 9. If the radius is equal, so let's do that one first. If r squared is equal to 9, the equation of the circle, so write the equation of the circle would be x squared plus y squared equals 9. That's it. Or x squared plus y squared equals 3 squared. Radius squared. Well, radius is 9, so that's the simplified version. And that's the answer. If r is equal to 50, r squared equals 50 times 50, which is 2,500. So what's the equation of that circle? Yep. And C? What's r squared equal to? Sorry? I switched the question, so it's 0.25 is the radius. Sorry, I skipped one. What's 0.25 times 0.25? 0.0625. Therefore, what's the equation of that circle? Good. Okay, now if you're given the radius, it's very easy to come up with the equation. You just plug it in. What if you're not given the radius? So let's do an example. Okay, so this time we have to write an equation of a circle that passes through the point -3, 4. To come up with the equation of the circle, I need to know the radius squared. This is all you have to replace to write the equation of the circle. So to get the radius, what do we have to do? If I know a coordinate, a point on the circle, how would I find the radius? Okay, we know that the equation has to be in the form x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And I need to know r. I know x and I know y, so plug it in. X is -3, y is 4. So what's -3 squared plus 4 squared equal to? 9 plus 16 equals r squared. 25 equals r squared. Okay, so we know we can find the radius, but to come up with the equation, we actually just need to know r squared. So what's the equation? Therefore, what's the equation of a circle that passes through the point -3, 4? X squared plus y squared equals 25. That's it.